The Honda Fit Hybrid is one of the best hybrid cars that you can buy in the Kenyan market today. It's a reliable, very fuel efficient, and practical compact hatchback. The demand of this car has really influenced its price, which has significantly gone up over the past few years. But there is a new hybrid entrant that may unsettle the sales of the Honda Fit Hybrid. This new entrant is also very spacious and even more efficient and affordable to buy. This is the 2016 Nissan Note e-Power, which was introduced in November 2016. It's a series hybrid in the sense that the power that drives the wheels comes entirely from the electric motor, which is powered by the batteries, which are charged by the engine. So there's no direct connection between the engine and the wheels. This car is basically an electric car that has its own power station under the bonnet. So you'll never have to plug in any cables to charge it like other conventional electric cars such as the Nissan Leaf. The Honda Fit, on the other hand, is a parallel hybrid in the sense that both the electric motor and the engine work together to power the car. At low speeds, it can move entirely on the electric motor, but as soon as you press harder on the accelerator to get more power, the engine will kick in, and at times, when even more power is needed, both will work in tandem to give the much needed power. So these are both hybrids, but they work differently. And today, in this particular episode, we are going to be comparing these two cars to help you decide on which one will suit you best. Should you seriously consider the Nissan Note e-Power, or should you just go ahead and buy the dominant Honda Fit Hybrid? Let's find out. Please stay tuned. Consider subscribing to the channel for more informative content on cars as well as bikes. And welcome to AK Photo Reviews. The 2016 Nissan Note is the second generation, which was in production from 2012 till 2020, but the e-Power variant was introduced in November 2016. The 2016 Fit, on the other hand, is the third generation, which was in production from 2013 till 2020. In terms of hybrid technology, Honda Fit was quite early into the game. In fact, even the second generation had a hybrid variant. So straight away, let's begin with the prices of each of these cars. 2016 and 2017 Nissan Note e-Power will set you back between 1.25 to around 1.35 million shillings, depending on the trim level. Some low mileage upper trim levels like the Medalist can go all the way up to around 1.4 million shillings. The 2016 Fit Hybrid, on the other hand, is going for roughly between 1.15 to around 1.45 million, again depending on the trim level and the mileage. So price-wise, the Note is slightly more affordable, especially if you consider the upper trim variants. The Note also offers more value for money. It comes with some very impressive extra features, yet it still costs slightly less than the Fit Hybrid. Moving on to the engine options, the Note e-Power comes with a 1200cc 3-cylinder petrol engine plus an electric motor that is shared with the Nissan Leaf plus a battery that is smaller than the one used in the Nissan Leaf. The power output of this car is about 110 horsepower and 254 Newton meters of torque. The power is transmitted to the wheels via a single-speed constant transmission. It's really not a traditional transmission like a CVT or DCT that you get in the Fit Hybrid. The advantage of this constant single speed is that all the 254 Newton meters of torque is transmitted instantaneously without any delay. So off the line, this car feels very fast. In fact, faster than the Honda Fit Hybrid. Another advantage is that there's no more worry about CVT failure because there's simply no CVT in this car. So you get instant power without the presence of an unreliable CVT transmission. In fact, currently in the Kenyan market, this is the fastest compact hybrid hatchback. And just to put this to perspective, the Honda Fit Hybrid has more horsepower than this Note e-Power, but less torque, and it also has a DCT gearbox, which is quite a fast transmission and a responsive one as well. But still, the constant single speed is superior. It just puts down the power instantaneously without any delays whatsoever. Reliability wise, this being a new technology in our market, we will have to wait and see how it fares. It's a complicated setup, though the 1200cc 3-cylinder engine is still the same one as the one used in the normal Nissan Notes. As I said earlier, the engine does not drive the wheels, it only charges the batteries. Then the batteries power up the electric motor, which then drives the wheels. It's a complicated setup and at times can also be a bit confusing if you are not that conversant with this technology. You may find that when you are driving, especially maybe on an incline or when overtaking, you may tend to hear the engine revving hard, and some people have actually thought that it's now the engine that ended up engaging to give more power, but that's not the case. The engine will only have engaged to supply more power to the battery. Remember, the battery is smaller than the one in the Nissan Leaf, though they share the same electric motor. That said, for the most part, the driving experience will be a very silent one unless and until the engine kicks in to give more charge to the batteries. Something else to take note of is the one pedal drive feature. This is whereby, assuming you are in traffic and you lift up your foot from the accelerator, you may not need to use the brakes frequently because the regenerative braking will enable the car to slow down almost to a complete stop while still pumping that kinetic energy back into the batteries, thereby recharging the batteries. This means that the brake pads will last much longer because of the less frequent use of the brakes. The Honda Fit Hybrid comes with a bigger engine, a 1500cc 4-cylinder petrol engine, plus an electric motor. The combined power output is around 130 horsepower and around 170 newton meters of torque. Power is sent to the wheels via a 7-speed dual clutch transmission. This is another complicated setup. The hybrid powertrain is in itself complicated, and the addition of the DCT adds more complexity. So far, these Fit hybrids have been reliable, though there have also been a few issues to do with the dual clutch transmission. At times, there may be delays in gear changes and they can also overheat. So they will definitely give that engaging driving experience, but much care needs to be taken with regards to how you drive and also the maintenance. Take note that DCTs were faster than conventional automatics, and in frequent stop and go traffic, transmission slip can occur, which may also lead to wear of this transmission. In terms of power, it's good enough. At low speeds, the car can move purely on EV or electric vehicle mode. At this point, it's only the electric motor that will be powering the car, but the moment you press hard on the accelerator, the engine will then kick in to give more power. Like the Nissan Note e-Power, this is also a self-charging hybrid. The batteries will be recharged by the engine and also through regenerative braking, thereby also ensuring that the brake pads last longer. In terms of efficiency, the Note e-Power can give between 25 to almost 37 kilometers per liter at speeds of between 50 to around 80 kilometers per hour. This is better than what the Fit Hybrid can do, though it also largely depends on how you drive. On average, a full tank can give a range of up to around 1,340 kilometers. And speaking of the fuel tank, its capacity is 41 liters. The Fit Hybrid can give between 20 to around 30 kilometers per liter. Some owners have even been able to get as much as 32-33 kilometers per liter, which is still very good. In fact, initially this Fit Hybrid and Toyota Aqua were the leaders in the segment in terms of fuel consumption, but this new Nissan Note e-Power can push all the way up to 35-36 kilometers per liter. The manufacturer's claim is 37 kilometers per liter, which may be a bit optimistic but not impossible. In terms of the average fuel range on a full tank, you can expect up to almost 1200 kilometers if you are really gentle on the accelerator. The full tank capacity is 40 liters. The Note e-Power has a 150mm ground clearance and the Fit Hybrid around 135mm. Both fall below the recommended 165mm clearance, but still not too bad, especially if the car is not loaded heavily. But still, going over those huge bumps and uneven Maram roads will certainly be a bit of a challenge. So you may consider installing slightly larger aftermarket alloy wheels and tires to slightly increase the clearance. Both cars get front ventilated discs and drums at the back, but upper trim levels such as the Medalist may come with solid discs at the back to improve the braking. In terms of the carb weights, the Note e-Power weighs around 1220 kgs, while the Fit Hybrid weighs in between 1080 to around 1230 kgs. Lastly, some of the extra features you can get in both cars include alloy wheels, fog lights, automatic AC, and a leather-wrapped steering wheel. Now, in addition to those, the Nissan Note e-Power can add features such as a 360 degrees parking camera, better sound insulation, leather interior, and a digital smart rear view mirror that uses a camera to display the back view. So it comes well kitted for the price. With all that said, there's nothing much to talk about the exteriors and interiors of these cars. They look okay, basic but good enough to appeal to most people. The chrome treatment on the grille and differently styled lights on the Nissan Note have added some sort of premiumness and a bit of elegance. Interior wise, these are the most spacious compact hatchbacks in the market currently. They are quite spacious, even for a family of 4 or 5. The Nissan Note has the longest wheelbase, which translates into very good legroom, and surprisingly the batteries are located very cleverly under the front seats, so generally practicality is not affected. The dash design is similar to that of the normal Nissan Note. The only slight difference is the center console and the gear selector, which has this futuristic design. The fit is also very spacious, and like other Hondas, it has this trick up its sleeve, the famous magic seats that can enable you to carry taller items. This is a very practical car. The dash design is simplistic but very functional. It also has this futuristic gear selector that is common in most other hybrids. Let's now talk about each car's strong as well as weak points, beginning with the Nissan Note e-Power. The first one is space. Despite this being a hybrid, the location of the batteries has not compromised its space and practicality. It's still very spacious, just like the non-hybrid Nissan Note. Secondly, it's quite fast off the line, and this is a car that you may not have to make any plans when overtaking. Just press on the accelerator and off you go. It has very good and instant power, but of course, it's always safe to overtake only when it's clear ahead. Struggling to overtake is something that you will not experience in this car. Another pro is its good handling. It has a very low center of gravity, especially being that the batteries are located under the front seats. So it provides a very stable and sure-footed driving experience. Even the body roll is significantly reduced compared to the normal Nissan Note. It also comes very well kitted with features that you won't find in the Honda Fit or any other mainstream compact hatchback in the Kenyan market today. Lastly, due to its one pedal drive feature that I had talked about earlier, the brakes will last a very long time because of their not so frequent use. Moving on to the weak points, just like any other hybrid, the battery replacement is still very expensive. This will certainly change with the time, but not anytime soon. And that's why it's advisable time and again to always go for a hybrid car that has very low mileage, preferably under 50,000 kilometers, so that by the time those batteries are due for replacement, the fuel savings will be more than the battery replacement cost. Another weak point that is common with Nissans is low resale value, which is now even compounded by the fact that this is now a hybrid. It's always quite difficult to sell a local used hybrid because who knows, maybe the mileage has been tampered with and nobody wants to buy a locally used hybrid car, then after just 6 months of usage, part with hundreds of thousands to replace the batteries. The best bet may be converting this car to an unhybrid once the batteries are dead. Moving on to the Honda Fit Hybrid, it has four main strong points. The first one is space and practicality. It's just as spacious as the Nissan Note. In fact, these are among the most spacious small hatchbacks in the market currently. It's also very fuel efficient, not quite as the Note e-Power, but it's still very good. It's among the best. Thirdly, that DCT provides an engaging drive, which was initially not associated with hybrids. Hybrids were known to be very boring to drive, but the introduction of that dual clutch transmission has brought about an engaging driving experience. But on the flip side, an additional layer of complexity has also been added. Lastly, this car has good resale value. Yes, as I've said, locally used hybrids tend to have low resale values, but this Honda Fit is a bit better. It's not that affected. You can buy a 2016 Honda Fit hybrid today for around 1.35 million shillings and sell it after maybe around 2 years at around 850,000 shillings, as long as you maintain it well and its mileage is also not too high. So its resale value is not that bad compared to other hybrids. On to its weak points. The first one is its price, which is a bit on the steep side. Some of them can go for as high as 1.5 million shillings. That is quite high for a compact hatchback. Another weak point that is shared with the Nissan Note e-Power and also other hybrids is the expensive cost of battery replacement. We can only hope that the cost will go down with time, but at the moment, just buy a hybrid with very low mileage so that you can be able to fully maximize on the hybrid battery's life. The last weak point has to do with the dual clutch transmission that can at times be a bit jerky and rough in gear changes. Some of them have even overheated, so much care is needed. In fact, some people have even used CVTFs in these transmissions. This is something that can end up causing issues, so it's best to just use the recommended transmission fluid, which is ATF DW1. So with that said, which hybrid should you go for? This is a tough one because both are really good options, but all factors considered, the Nissan Note e-Power seems to be a really enticing choice. It's more affordable, more efficient, it has got good and stable driving dynamics, it has more features, and the power delivery is super instant. And you won't have to worry about an unreliable CVT transmission like in the normal Nissan Notes. Something else is that even when it comes to the battery replacement, it will be slightly affordable in this Note e-Power compared to the Nissan Leaf, which is a fully fledged electric car. The battery in the Note e-Power is smaller, so it will cost less. So putting all factors into consideration, this Nissan Note e-Power comes on top. It's a good value proposition that you should seriously consider. The Fit Hybrid, on the other hand, is equally good, but this time the Note seems to be slightly better. Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Which one would you go for, or which one would you prefer? Personally, I would go with the Note e-Power. I hope this has been helpful. Thanks a lot for watching. As always, if you have any enquiries, feel free to reach me via WhatsApp or email. That's it for this particular episode. Stay safe. See you in the next one.